Louisiana, so I had to make it bounce.
Fiji made me do it.
I'm live from my mama house, look, right now. I'm in the kitchen cooking up something right now. Fiji made me do it, so I did it right now. On the beat, so you know I got it right now. I gotta do it for my mama, get her out the drama every time.
Up, good people? I'm back. It is January 1st, 2018. Welcome back to Easy Speaks. Welcome to your new year. Happy New Year, everybody. I hope you brought it in the right way, in the right place, with the right people, man. It's a new year. It's a time for change, time for prosperity, all that good stuff. I've been away for a little bit, but ain't nothing changed. You know, I'm back. I have a song to talk about, as usual, but I also have a story to tell. So I don't want to waste too much time just rapping in the beginning, so let me just get right into it. So this video is going to be a tad personal for me, just because I'm going to tell this story, but I want to reach a point by the end of the video, and I will, but I want to use this story to help me get there. So I haven't had the greatest relationship with my biological father for most of my life. And a lot of people will cut me off and be like, man, you're not alone, man. It was me too, and my homeboy over here. Everybody been through it, right? I mean, yeah, I guess, but everybody's situation is different. You know, we would talk every once in a while. Maybe he would send me letters every once in a while. I will say, first of all, I never, ever mistaken the idea or the fact that he loves me. Never, ever. So that alone, you know, I commend him for. But he did not raise me. He wasn't in my life, you know, early on. I ain't really had nothing to do with him. I was just off, you know, doing me, playing sports, going to school, doing my thing. He was somewhere, you know, doing his thing or whatever. And that was that. Like, I ain't really feel like I needed him. If I heard from him, all right, cool. If not, all right, cool. So, but there was points in time where, you know, especially when I was in middle school, I would get letters from him from jail. So he was in and out of jail for just dumb stuff, you know, here and there. And that's why I never really built, you know, a legit relationship with him, just because I couldn't. Like, I just didn't. So fast forward, when I was around the time when I graduated high school, I was able to actually reconnect with him and that side of my family. And I started to actually build a relationship with him and them and get to know them and all that good stuff. And it was cool. It was good. He was out working. You know, he was actually accessible. You know, whether I wanted to or not, he was at least available if I wanted him, if I wanted to talk to him. So slowly we began to get a little bit closer and actually get to know each other. Jumping to this story now. So, you know, we had the relationship going and it was building. And then, you know, there came a point where he just disappeared. Like, he fell off the map, right? And I was confused. I didn't really think too much of it. I didn't really know where he went. I didn't really know what was going on. But like I said, for most of my life, I didn't really have him anyway. So if he's gone, he's gone. And that's just going to be that. But, you know, eventually I got a letter from him. And it was like 5 or 6 pages, front and back. It was a lot. He's very articulate. He likes to write. But yeah, so got a letter from him, read it. It was very insightful, very well written. But then I looked up the address that it came from, right? And I realized that it was a jail. And I was like, man, nah, yo, I don't want nothing to do with this no more, yo. I'm good on that. Like, come on, yo. Like, why are you in jail again? Like, what did you do? Why don't you learn? Why don't you get it? Like, I don't understand. Please help me understand. So I was heated. And you know why? It was because I had started to build expectations for him. And little did I know, nothing had changed, right? He's still the same person that he was when I was a kid. Nothing's changed. He's back where he started. And I'm like, you know what? I'm good. And at that point, I was actually mad. Like, I had never been mad before because I never had expectations. He never was there. So I was just like, all right, whatever. But then he was there, I had expectations, and now he's back. So I'm like, you know what? I'm mad now. So then I was like, man, you know what? I'm going to go up there. I'm going to look him dead in his face, and I'm going to tell him what's up. Because otherwise, he won't get it. And at that point in time, I'm like, man, you know what? Maybe I can change him. Maybe. It took me a while, but eventually I got the chance. It was actually around Thanksgiving. I was in the area, and I got the chance to go up there and see him. And at that point in time, I had already written to him. I told him how I felt. And so me getting to release that was good, but I did still want to see him. So I went up there, and because of where I was coming from with it, I felt like the visit could only be good. It couldn't be any worse, right? So needless to say, by the time I left the visit, I had never been in as good of a place as I was when I left. The visit, I couldn't have asked for better. Now I could be naive, but when I left, I had the idea in my head, like, he finally gets it. Like, I kept asking myself, like, what is it going to take for you to get it? And this is what it takes. It takes for him to be locked up and alone to get it. And so, I was talking to him, and he was telling me about how he talks to groups of people weekly, if not daily, I can't remember. But he talks to people, and he mentors them. He pours into them. He always acknowledges the fact that he needs God in his life. He just makes dumb decisions. But now that he's in jail, you can't really make, you can make dumb decisions in there if you want to, but he's in there, he knows he's in there, his life is out of his hands. Really, it's in the hands of the state. And he understood that too, which I appreciated. So he had been grounded, and he looked to the word of God, and God has responded. He's kind of pulled him out. Now, I say all this to say that I feel like he's found and reached his purpose while being in jail. So his purpose really is to pour into people, mentor people. I could tell that when he looked at some of the younger people that were in there with him, he was like, man, I'm looking at you and I see me. I see what could be me. You know what I'm saying? And I think he, has taken it upon himself to pull them out, and just do that. Like, that's his thing. And a lot of the letters he's been sending me, he's actually in the process of writing a book. So he's a very, very insightful man. And I'm making this video because I'm proud of him, but also because I want you to understand that regardless of where you are or what you're doing, what your situation is, you can still fulfill your purpose. I think it took him this many times to be locked up to understand that, whether you're on the outside or on the inside, you still got to do what you got to do. And if that's his thing, maybe that's just where he's meant to be, to do it. He's gonna get out, don't get me wrong, but that you out here doing your thing, and I'm proud of you. I'm basically doing what you're doing on the internet. You're doing it in prison where it's really needed, homie. So look, like, some of them people in there, they don't have a son that's going to drive and come see them. Like, they really could be alone. So I was looking at it, and I was like, man, for you to be in there and pour into these people and mentor these people, like, it takes a lot for that. And your father, I'm talking to my father right now. Your father, who has passed away, rest in peace, he was a very well-rounded man. And I could see, in the event that he was in jail, for whatever reason, he never would be, but if he was, I could see him doing the exact same thing. And he's reflecting on you as you pour into these people. I see that. Yeah, man, I'm rapping at this point, so this ain't none of your business, for real. Look, man, all I'm saying is, regardless of the stadium, regardless of the field, the track may be ripped up. You could be running on concrete, all of that, man. Forget all of it. Do your thing. Play your game. Like, there's no excuses. There's no excuses. My father is locked up right now, pouring into people, right? Because they need that, and because he needs that to fulfill himself, fulfill his purpose. So I really did appreciate it. Now, I will say, just to put it on the record, I could look back on this video 2 years from now and regret that I made it, want to delete it, but until then, I'm proud of him. I am. And I wanted to kind of highlight that and just say that if you feel like you have a purpose, live it out. Do your thing. It doesn't matter where you are, what you come from, what you're doing, what you're dealing with, none of that, man. Just do your thing. Period. That's it. Now, Christian hip hop. I selected a song by Joey Jewish. It's called Beautiful Solitude. And I mean, in the name, you could kind of, connect the dots. But he talks about how being in solitude a lot of times is what you need to connect to God and fulfill your purpose. Now, aside from that, his sound is a lot like Bryson Tiller. It's real smooth. It's like an R&B vibe to it. You could throw this right on the radio, honestly, and not even know it's Christian hip hop until you actually sit and listen to it. It's a beautiful thing. But yeah, it's a really good song. Definitely check it out. And for me, I took the time to go see him because he's still my father. And for a lot of people, they can't say that, oh, I ran by my father, or I got to see him for Christmas or Thanksgiving or something like that, because they're gone. They don't have the opportunity to do that. And I did. So I took it regardless of where he was or whatever. Like, that's still family. And I'm not going to give up on him. I'm just not. So contrary to what, some other people may have told me to do, I'm just not going to do that. I'm not built like that. I'm not wired that way. I'm just not going to do that. But yeah, man, just take a second. Breathe in. My chest's kind of heavy because I'm talking about this. And breathe out. And listen to what he has to say to you, because that solitude right there is a lot of times what you need. And don't be afraid to take it. You can talk to as many people as you want to, but a lot of times they can't tell you, what God is going to tell you. So just go sit in the corner, look at the wall, and just be in solitude and talk to him. That is my moral of the story. Don't let anything sway you from your purpose, no matter what. I hope my camera didn't cut off because I ran out of space on my phone or something like that, man. But y'all have a good week. Y'all have a good year. Start it off right, finish it strong. I'm holla at y'all.
You to chill where you sucked up all the luxury I find to pay the bills. I can see the skyline, 50-mile radius on my timeline.